it's Hattie here, and I'm here to do my January 2026 TBR, which sounds, saying 2026 sounds very strange. Not used to that yet. But I don't have a few books on my TBR. I'm going to go through my physical books first, and then I'll go on to the ones I'm reading on NetGalley or my Kindle. So the first book on my TBR is The Crimson Moth by Christine Kirakarali. I probably butchered the last name, I do apologise. This is one of my friend recs for 2026, and I'm very happy this is one that was chosen from the wheel I put them all on for this month, as I'm very excited to get to it. And I loved what I've heard about other people's reviews and what they've said about it, so I'm excited to get into reading this. And I will let you know the blurb, which states, "The only thing more treacherous than being a witch is falling in love. On the night Rune's life changed forever, blood ran in the streets. Now, in the aftermath of the devastating revolution, witches have been diminished from powerful rulers to outcasts, ruthlessly hunted due to their waning magic, and Rune must hide what she is. Spending her days pretending to be nothing more than a vapid young socialite, Rune spends her nights as the Crimson Moth, a witch vigilante who rescues her kind from being purged. When a rescue goes wrong, Rune decides to throw the witch hunters off her scent by courting the handsome Gideon Sharp. Except Gideon is a notorious and unforgiving witch hunter loyal to the revolution, and falling for him would be deadly." And I'm very excited to pick this up. Definitely not too bad. How many pages is it? I don't want to ruin anything. I just want the page count. I'm doing this cack-handedly. 404 pages, so not too bad. So I'm very excited to read this. Book on my TBR is Edge Dancer by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2.5 in the Stormlight Archive series. I'm not going to read the black because I don't want to ruin anything because it's in partway through a series. But I'm very excited to read this because I haven't read this one before, so very excited. The next physical book is The Fury of Kings by R.S. Mole. This has been on my TBR for a while, and this is one of my 2026 priority reads that I do want to get to. The blurb says, "In the shadow of Erispic, a mountain said to have no summit, a dark power is staring. Storms rage in the frozen heights, unexplained disappearances shake the kingdom below, and old enemies are sharpening their swords. Andric, the barrel breaker, first led an army at 16. His victory secured the throne of Ireland for his brother and shattered the rebellious noble houses of the West. Decades later, a fragile peace still holds. But when the king's only son is murdered, Ireland is plunged into crisis. The new heir will stop at nothing to secure his claim. The king, maddened by grief, stalks the halls and hidden passages of his keep, growing more unpredictable by the day. As war and magical disaster loom, Andric must decide between protecting his family and marching on to serve a brother he barely recognised. His children must also choose their destinies. Training in the practice yard every day, Orison dreams of fighting beside his father. Now for the first time he faces the brutal reality of battle, and Perry is haunted by very different dreams. A figure struggling up the mountain, of a voice more chilling than the wind, of blood on the snow. Only she can resist the darkness that waits on the slopes above." So I'm very excited for that. Even rereading the blurb, I want to pick this up and read. So I'm very excited to get my reading this. Final physical book that's on my TBR for January is Persuader by Lee Childs, which is the 6th book in the Jack Reacher series. And as it's like a crime thriller novel, and it goes through different situations. In each book, I will read the back of this one to you. Never forget, never forget. Jack Reacher lives for the moment, without a home, without commitment. But he has been burning desire to right wrongs and rewrite his own agonising past. Never apologise, never explain. When Reacher witnesses a brutal kidnap attempt, he takes the law into his own hands. But a cop dies, has Reacher lost his sense of right and wrong? And I knew I needed to mix it up because I've got a lot of fantasy on this TBR, so this is one of the books I'm mixing up with a thriller. So I'm very excited to get to this book as well. One of my first lot of books that aren't physical is one of my NetGalley reads, which is Dawn of the North by Demi Winters, which is the third book in the Ashen series. I am very thankful for the publishers and for allowing me to have an early arc of this, and I'm very, very excited to read this. I don't want to spoil anything because this is definitely the third book in the series, but I will tell you about the first book, which is The Road of Bones, which I did give 4 stars, or 4 point, let's check. Yeah, definitely 4 stars. I absolutely loved the writing style. I definitely like the writing style of these books and wanted to continue the series. I'm so glad being able to have the third book on NetGalley. The Road of Bones blurb is: a woman on the run, a crew of Viking mercenaries, a forbidden romance, and the secret which threatens them all. Sela Nordvig is running for her life. The Queen of Irika has sent warriors to bring Celia to Sunnavik, where death awaits her. When her father is killed, his last words set Celia on a privileged-travelled, treacherous road of bones, a 1,000-mile stretch haunted by warbands, creatures of darkness, and a mysterious murder, and go to Copa, where a chilled house awaits her. After barely surviving the first stretch of road, a desperate Celia seeks into a supply wagon belonging to the notorious Blood Axe crew. To make it to Copia, she must win over Axe Eyes, the brooding leader of the crew, while avoiding the wolf, his distinctively handsome right-hand man. But the Queen's ruthless assassin has other plans, and haunts Celia's obsessively, Will Celia make his safety to Copa, or will she fall prey to the perils of the Road of Bones? So I'm very, very excited to get to the third book in this, especially after the events of the second book. I'm very, very excited. And the second book was called Kingdom of Claw, which I did give 5 stars. So I'm very excited to read Dawn of the North. Another book that I'm reading on NetGalley, which, again, very thankful to the publishers and the author. I have these all on my iPad so I can read the blurbs out to the ones I can to make it easier, because obviously I don't have them physically, is Amber and Ash by Lee Renee Jones, which is the first book in the Thorn saga, which I was very, very excited about. When I read the blurb on NetGalley, I was intrigued. I wanted to read this, so that's why I requested it, and very thankful that I have managed to get a copy early. And the description of this says: in the dark of night, there is passion and destruction. Criminal defence attorney Ember Thorne felt the biggest challenge of her life would be her quest to navigate the justice system on behalf of the wrongly accused. That is, until she finds herself in the sights of an otherworldly evil, desperately hunting what she cannot kill. Not yet, at least. Nothing in her life or in this world is what it seems, and when a blue-eyed stranger named Micah saves her life, the attraction at the fire that could become the death of all that exists, or the salvation that blooms, with new hope for all. Micah, royalty in his own right, will challenge her to stand against evil, but when you have never known true evil, can you really recognise it where it hides? In a world where angels and demons are the truth humans call fiction, could it be a lie between lovers that equals salvation, or is it the lie the blade that delivers devastation? I'm very excited to read this. Rereading these blurbs are making me even more excited to start my January TBR. And this is definitely a fantasy romance, so I'm very excited for that. Next book that is on my TBR is a Kindle book, and it's on KU, which is The Dragon Uprising by D.K. Hollenberg and Jasper Elbden. This is book 4 in the Lost Riders series. I'm trying to read books that I'm partway through this month. Yes, I'm starting a few, but I'm also made sure I have a few continuations on there at least. And I'm very excited about this one. The first book in this series is called The Relic Bond, which I only did give 3 stars, but the second book definitely got 5 stars. So I'm glad I continued the series. Definitely. I'm just waiting for something to load. The Relic Bond blurb is: the Dragon War has raged for years, but ancient relics of power may be the key to stopping it for good. When the discovery of a rare relic awakens his long-lost power within hell, he learns the truth of a war that challenges all that he believes. Mastering his new connection may bring about a peace, or it may fully destroy the kingdom. I'm very, very excited for book 4. I want to continue the series as it's only 6 books long, so I've only got 3 more books that I need to read for this series before I finished it. The last book on my TBR is Bare Bones by Kathy Reichs, which is book 6 in the Temperance Brennan series, and I'm very, very excited. Another crime mystery thriller book to break all the fantasy that I am reading next month. I'm very excited about reading this, to be back in this world again following another investigation I have to go through. And the description for this one is a summer of sizzling heat in Charlotte, where Dr. Temperance Brennan, forensic anthropologist for the North Colonial Medical Examiner, looks forward to her first vacation in years, a romantic vacation. She's almost out the door when the bones start appearing. A newborn child remains turn up in the wood stove. A small plane crashed in the North Carolina cornfield on the sunny afternoon. Both pilot and passenger are burned beyond recognition. And what is the mysterious black substance covering the bodies? Most puzzling of all are the bones discovered as a remote farm outside Charlotte. The remains seem to be an animal origin, but Tempe is shocked when she gets them to her lab. With help from a special detective friend, Tempe must investigate a poignant and terrifying case, and comes at the worst possible moment. Daughter Katie has a new boyfriend who Temp fears may have something to hide, and important personal decisions face Tempe. It is time for emotional commitment. Well, will she have the chance to find out? Everything must wait on the bones. Why are the x-rays and DNA so perplexing? Who is trying to keep Tempe from the answers? Someone is following her and Katie. The someone must be stopped before it's too late. So I'm very, very excited to continue that series and move on, because that has it's a very big series. That's what I was trying to say. I've just froze halfway through that sentence. It's a very big series, and I want to start making a bit more process through it, as I'm only on book 6 and there's something like 20, maybe more in the series. So I'm very, very excited to continue. Everyone reading this month, anything similar, any opinions on the books I'm about to read, let me know below. Let me know your favourite book that you're going to read in Jan, or you're looking forward to in Jan. But I do hope you have a good reading month. Have a good day. Bye.